Hi, I'm Jennifer Elliott, and welcome to the Chakra series. Today is our third chakra of 7, Manipura Chakra, located just above the navel in the solar plexus region. The color is yellow, so I'm wearing my yellow for you today to remind you. And we're going to be thinking of the element of fire or heat, so sort of stoking that digestive fire. So our first two chakras we already covered was our root chakra at the base, Muladhara. Then we went to our sacral chakra, Swadhisthana, and now we've arrived at the solar plexus. So that'll be our focus for today. It's a level 1, a short 30-minute practice. So just sit up tall. You can find yourself on a seated blanket, whatever works for you. Plant your palms down. Close the eyes and just take a few moments here to connect. Find your breath. And when we start to think about the Manipura Chakra, I like to envision sort of all the nerve endings going into the belly. A lot of times the belly is called the second brain because we have that gut feeling, sort of that intuitive experience where we know something's going to happen, butterflies at the pit of the belly. And so with that, we have this strong intuition that sort of can guide us if we can listen to it. But ego identity also lies here. So sometimes that's a little bit stronger, or you'll feel this tug of war between the two, that intention and sort of humility and your ego identity. So as you're sitting here with the eyes closed and you're checking in, set an intention for your practice. Notice what the first thing is that popped into your mind, and that's usually your intuition. Notice the dialogue you have behind that. That's usually ego identity trying to rationalize or change or question your thought, your first intuitive inclination. And then somewhere in the middle is our Goldilocks. That's where our intention lies. So with that intention, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out. In through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out. In through the nose. Hold at the top. Sip a bit more breath in through the nose. Sip a bit more breath in. Open the mouth and let it out. And take a full inhale. Full exhale. Go ahead and blink the eyes open. And just turn the palms up and lift them off of your thighs. Take an inhale, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, navel pulls in, no hands twist to the right. Again, inhale tall. Exhale, belly, and continue to twist to the right. So we're going to activate that Manipura Chakra today by doing twists and some gentle core work. One more. Inhale tall. Exhale, continue to revolve. Place the right hand on the floor behind you, left hand to the outer right knee. As you sit tall again, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Now try not to use this external leverage of the arm, but more the internal leverage of the abdominals. One more breath. And we're going to check this out by lifting the hands and just seeing, are we maintaining our twist? And return to center. Okay, lean back, switch the cross of the ankles, hands on your thighs. Turn your palms up, lift them off your thighs. Inhale tall. Exhale, navel in, twist to the left, no hands. Inhale tall. Exhale, continue to revolve left. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Left hand on the floor behind you, right hand to the outer left knee. Sit tall. Continue to revolve. You can use the hand a little bit, but we're not trying to crank or force ourselves. And then you're going to test it just by lifting your hands and seeing how much work it takes for you to maintain that twist. And then unwind. Okay, so find your way to hands and knees. We'll get going here. So we're going to find a nice table pose. If you need any support for your knees, you can use your blanket underneath your knees. But otherwise, you're going to take a nice table pose and move through a cat-cow. So inhale, the chest pulls forward. Exhale, round the spine. Again, inhale, chest pulls through. Exhale and round. And then find yourself at center, a nice table pose. Tuck the right toes under on the mat, drive back through the heel. Raise the right leg up just to the height of the hip. Drop the right hip down, pull the navel in and up. And then when you're ready, reach the opposite left arm forward. Thumb up like you want to give a handshake. Now try to knit the front ribs in, lift them up towards the spine. Reach back through the heels, spin up from the inner thigh. And release. Cat-cow, inhale, heart forward. Exhale, round spine. Find center, tuck the left toes under, press back through the heel, root through the right shin. As you raise the left foot up to the height of the hip, navel to spine, front ribs lift up. When and if you're ready, reach the right arm forward, thumb is up like you want to give a handshake. And we're trying to knit the front body up to the back body. And return. Cat-cow. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, round spine. Press all the way back for a moment, child's pose. Hips to heels. Remember, you can come here anytime. You don't need me for this pose. And then make your way back up to hands and knees. Take the right arm out like an airplane wing. And then inhale, reach it high. Exhale, sweep it underneath. Inhale, reach it high. And exhale, glide it underneath. One more. Inhale. Exhale as you slide it underneath. Take a moment to bring your right ear to the floor or prop. Left arm can reach forward, or you can drape it behind the back and roll the left shoulder open. So just see what's comfortable for you. Don't force anything. And then unwind. Find your way up to table. Left arm out like an airplane wing. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sweep it underneath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. One more. Then as you sweep it underneath, left ear down, right arm can either reach forward or drape it behind the back. Roll the shoulder open. Unwind. Find your way up to tabletop again. Inhale, lift your heart. Tuck your toes under this time, and exhale, lift up, downward facing dog. And you can bend your knees a little bit and then settle into your pose. And even here, can you take your front ribs and lift them up to the spine? Shift forward to plank, top of a push-up. Now, a lot of times we get here and the hips are too high, so walk the feet back until you're nice and parallel to the floor. Chest pulls forward. Now, we're here a little longer because we're using our core muscles, but you're always welcome to place the knees down if that's better for you. Just don't let the hips drop. So a couple of breaths here in plank or on the knees in plank. Either way, lift the navel, chest forward. So from plank or from knees down, tip forward and go slow to the floor. Elbows hug the body the whole way down. When you arrive on your belly, reach the toes back, lift the shoulders. Inhale, lift the heart, low cobra, and release. Inhale, lift the heart, low cobra. Some of you may straighten the arms, lift into up dog, but not necessary. Downward facing dog. Take the right leg up behind you, halfway, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Try to lift the knee up high, activate the core. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot next to the right thumb tip. Hands on the floor or blocks. Left hand is going to remain where it is, on the block or on the floor. Right arm is going to reach towards the sky. Back leg lifts just a little bit. And then bring the hand down. Look forward on an inhale. Exhale, lift the hips and the front toes. Inhale, forward lunge, lift the heart. Exhale back, lift the hips. Okay. Hands are either on the blocks or floor. Step the right leg back with control. Find your plank. And then see how slow you can set the knees down with control. Great. And then if you had the blocks, move them out of your way and go back to down dog. The left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot next to the left thumb tip. If it doesn't make it, grab the ankle, boost it the rest of the way. Make sure knee is right over ankle. And then you're up on the back toes. Find your hands on your props. And then right hand remains on the floor or block. Left arm reaches high. Bring your hand down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lift the hips and shift back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Okay. Inhale forward. You can keep your hands on those blocks if you'd like, so it's easier to pick up that front leg and step it back. Take a breath here. You can lift into downward facing dog, feet together. Make sure you're stable on these blocks. Come high to the toes, bend your knees, and then hop or step to the top of the mat. If you're not used to hopping, just go light. Good, and have a little bend. So if you did that, I'll kind of make sure I don't hurt my toe when I demo this wrong. But if you jumped forward and it sounds like this, or any kind of sound, go back and make it lighter. Should be quiet as a mouse. So bend your knees, do a little hop, and just try to keep it as light as possible. Inhale, pull your chest through. Exhale, and fold. Bend your knees, drop your seat. Take your arms up and rise. Okay, how are we doing? So I expect you're getting a little warm. I know I am. So part of this chakra is building that internal heat. So hopefully we're doing that. So we're going to turn to the side. And I just have my blocks available for later, so I've got them. And from my feet wide, I'm going to externally rotate my right leg so it's facing the side wall. I'm going to kick the left heel back, front heel intersecting the back arch. And then I'm going to sink into the lunge. All right. Now, from here, I'm going to think of that no hands twist. So I'm going to lengthen the spine and start to move the right ribs forward, left ribs back. So I'm getting a little bit more movement here, but I'm using those internal levers. The arms are out, gaze over the right middle finger. And so even here, these simple movements can be core work. So often I relate the chakras to sort of the developmental view. So the root chakra would be like the baby just being born, discovering that it's got a body, it can move those limbs. Our second center, the hips are like the baby, suddenly discovering that it has needs and desires and starting to crawl to go get what it wants. And as we're in our Manipura Chakra, now we've hit our terrible twos. I want, I feel, I need, me, me, me. Go ahead and straighten up the right leg. Don't worry, I hadn't forgotten about you. Go ahead and turn the right toes in, left toes towards the back. Kick the right heel back. Front heel intersects the back arch. Sink into your lunge. And again, lengthen the side waist. And then use the internal levers to twist right ribs back, left ribs forward. And take a few breaths here. And so with those terrible twos, it's very much the ego identity. But each section, each chakra has an obstacle to overcome. Sometimes they're called demons. I like obstacle. And so obstacle here is shame. So we're trying to build self-confidence. If we don't have a lot of self-confidence, we're unsure. Sometimes we feel ashamed or we don't feel confident in our decisions. So we're trying to build confidence, which is what we're getting here with our standing postures. Straighten the leg and bring it back to center. Okay. Turn your toes out, bend your knees, goddess pose, horse squat, however you'd like to say it, sink in. But again, we're just building that confidence. We're also building a little bit of that digestive fire. So when I move through twists, I always work the right side first and the left side. It works everything in a clockwise fashion. So we move things up the ascending colon, transverse, down the descending. So we sort of move things out of the body as they need to. Straighten the legs. Turn the toes in slightly. We just want the outer ankles to firm in and be level with the sides of the mat. Hands on hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands either on these blocks or on the floor, whatever works for you. Left hand is under the heart. Pull your chest forward. Right arm out like an airplane wing, just like we did on hands and knees. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, reach. Good. Now I'm using those internal levers. Now I could bring the arm all the way up, but then the hips would go off to the side. So I'm going to bring my hands to my hips, re-level them, maybe move the block or find a lower level. Chest forward, hug the inner thighs, and then it's the shoulder that begins to open. Maybe the top arm high. Again, not necessary. Find center, hands on blocks or floor. Right hand roots, pull the chest forward. Left arm out like an airplane wing. Inhale, reach it high. Don't worry about the hips now. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, reach. Now let's see if we can find where our low back is. So look down, hand on the low back, re-level. Chest pulls forward and then open through the shoulder. Maybe the arm comes up. But if you're honest with yourself, if I'm honest, my arm does not get very high. So I'm going to put my hand on my hip and use the shoulder instead. And I might even go a little lower. And then come back to center. Chest forward, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Hands go between the thighs, just resting on the floor. Hands on your hips. Lead with your heart and slowly come on up. Okay, so step your feet in, work out your ankles. And I'm just going to turn to the back of the mat. It's easier for you to see. But I'm putting my blocks on their highest height. I'm going to stand behind those blocks or very close to them, my feet at hip width. The left foot is going to step back, and I'm going to keep it at hip width. If I go 1 foot in front of the other, I'm going to lose balance. So keep it at hip width, just step it back about 3 feet. Square your hips forward. Lift your chest, inhale, and exhale. Soften the front knee as you tilt forward. Hands can rest on your props, framing your front foot. Pull your chest forward and find length. Hug your inner thighs together. Now from here, left hand remains on the block or floor, right under the heart. Right thumb to the right hip crease, pin it back. Pull your chest forward. And then like we did in that last pose, start to move through the shoulder, those internal levers. Chest pulls through. Hug the outer hip in. Maybe that top arm high. So as we move through these twists, we're digesting not only our food, but anything we intake. So you might be digesting thoughts, experiences, and everything you digest, part of it you keep, you need for your nourishment, and the rest of it you literally eliminate, no longer needed. So let's bring the hand down, pull the chest forward, and just get some last little bit of extra length. You can walk those hands forward on the blocks and fold in. So I think we all have those thoughts or emotional experiences that we haven't fully sorted through, right? And then we feel a little bit backed up. So whatever that thought is, that experience, I guarantee there's part of it that you can keep with you. It's worth your nourishment, feeds your soul, and the rest of it no longer needed. Just let it go. Okay. Hands back to frame your foot, chest forward. Hands on hips, lead with your heart. Come on up to stand. Back foot steps forward. Okay, pedal out the feet. I'm going to turn the other way just so you can see. Feet are hip width. Take your right foot, step it back a good 4 feet. Square the hips. Parsvottanasana. Lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, tilt it forward. Place your hands on your props. Frame your front foot. Pull your chest through. Take a little time here, get length. Left thumb to left hip crease, pin it back. Pull the chest forward. And then go as slow as you can, revolving open to the left. All right, how does this side feel? Not as easy to twist, maybe? What about what we're trying to digest? And so if you feel deficiency here, you may be low energy or feel cold physically. Maybe you're more passive. So all of these things would say that we don't have that internal heat that's firing us, it's giving that passion. Go ahead and release. Look forward, walk those hands forward, but you could be the other way, right? You could be quick to temper or sort of easily agitated, right? Have to be right, maybe you manipulate. Maybe it's not you, it's someone you know. So again, you're either too hot, too cold. So what is that just right? That just right is our ability to be humble and have that intuition, to know what we want and to act to get it. To feel assertive and strong, but not manipulative or mean. Bring those blocks back, pull your chest through, hands to hips, lead with your heart, come all the way up. Step the back foot forward. All right, well done. Take an inhale, sit into chair, Utkatasana. Slowly rise. Take the arms behind you. You can take your feet hip width. Lift your chest, I just hooked thumbs, and then exhale, bend your knees, take a big forward fold. And then release your hands. Step back, down dog. Shift forward to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Okay. So from your belly, bend your right knee. Slide it up like a half frog, just out to the side. Right arm in front of you, left arm underneath. Roll back, enjoy a nice twist. If you didn't get there, just take a twist. Onto your belly, slide the left knee up like a half frog. Left arm forward, right arm underneath. Roll back. And then this time, completely roll onto your back. Shift over a little bit to the right so you end up on your mat. We'll take one bridge here, maybe two. Those are really nice after our twists. So hold the edges of the mat, knees are bent, feet are hip width apart. Peel your hips up into bridge. Interlace the hands underneath you. You can walk the shoulders underneath you. Separate the hands, paint the spine down. Just let it rest a moment. One more time, grab the edges of the mat, peel the hips up, shoulders underneath. And paint the spine down. A little windshield wipering on the legs. If you reach up by your head, you might have a block. Lift your hips up, back to that bridge, slide the block at any height you want underneath, feet to the ceiling. I'm just taking a moment here. Sometimes it's said that all the impurities of the lower chakras sort of drop down into that digestive fire. And we talk about sort of heating in yogic terms. We talk about tapas. And tapas is our vehicle for change. We heat something, we allow it to change. So at the very least, we heated our muscles and we hope that they become more flexible. Maybe it's our mind that becomes flexible, not our body. But it's through something challenging that we grow. And so that's what that heat sort of signifies. We've all been through something that we might think was no fun at the time. It was something very hard. And at the end, something great came out of it, someone that we met or a lesson that we learned. And so tapas is the acceptance of pain for purification. So that building of that digestive fire, that heat, to move through it to come out on the other side. Go ahead and bend your knees. Set your feet down onto the ground. Peel your hips up and paint your spine down. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Pull your left leg in. Thread the needle. And just start to close the eyes, slow everything down. We built up a little bit of that fire. Now we're cooling and calming. And switch. Left ankle over right knee. Pull the leg in. Pull both of your knees in. Give yourself a nice hug. And you can take either a happy baby. I'm going to take a forward fold myself. So take something that's sort of finishing out of your practice, nice and cooling, calming. And then find your way into something that's supportive for you. So that might be legs up the wall, that might be Savasana. I'm going to sit just so that I can read a few things to you, or you can think about a few things of the solar plexus. So as you find that place where you're comfortable, just notice your intention. What did you set in the beginning? Did you tend to follow more your intuitive side or more of your ego side? Both are great. You need ego to propel you forward, to create a goal and to allow you to move towards it. But that humility allows us to stay present and anchored into ourself. The fire within me burns through all blocks and fears. I can do whatever I will to do. Please stay here as long as you'd like in your Savasana. And if you're seated, you're welcome to bring your hands to your heart. Lift your chest, bow your head. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. I hope you enjoyed this short practice on the Manipura Chakra. Next time we'll meet with the heart center on Anahata Chakra. So enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.